The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Y'all ready for this?
Booyah! We are back. It is 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, September 19th. Time for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap,
who is back after his 1 week hiatus, all in fun and in good sport.
Hey, I could not miss, with it being my wife's birthday. Happy week, birthday. We were still celebrating, by the way, but
Birthday week, huh?
birthday week month, I think she said it was going to be. But I'll go for whatever she says because
there's no argument there.
If she's happy, I can do this show. So yeah, we're in good.
Absolutely.
We're in good spot.
And again, we wished you a happy birthday last week, Mrs. Belknap and Kimberly Belknap.
Love you, kid.
Happy birthday.
Who's also the hairdresser for Mom.
For Mom, yes, yeah, and and doing a wonderful job, by the way. So by all means, if you need to get the due taken care of,
Kimberly Belknap Body Spa, Summerlin across from Red Rock.
There you go.
There you go.
Have it right there. So listen, we're going to, before we get into it, and obviously there's a very large individual here in the studio. It is not a figment of your imagination.
That's right.
And we're going to get to this young man in just a second, but just the update, of course, on the year-long baseball bet.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Tigers are now 61-91. And if you're just joining us, I don't know how, but obviously you've heard this since the season started. Jeff and I have a bet that with regard to a 100-loss season for the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
As you all know, Jeff is from the D.
That's right.
Detroit homeboy. And before anybody really thinks that Bill's a Tiger hater, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the bet is on behalf of Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff made the bet. He honestly believes they're going to lose 100 games or more.
Right.
I don't believe they will. They are now 61-91.
10 games to go.
10 games left. I need 2 games from you guys. That's it. And Jeff will be hosting dinner at Golden Steer.
Which either way we're going to win.
Either way, it's win-win.
That's definitely a winner.
It's just a great place to eat. So there's no downside other than who's going to pick up the tab.
That's right.
But I don't want people thinking that, damn Bill Miller, he's betting on whether the Tigers lose 100 or more. No, I actually think they're only going to lose 99 or maybe 98.
Okay, well, we hope that it doesn't even come down to that point, but they're 2 of their last 10. They've only won 2 of their last 10, which gives me a little bit of hope because we got 10 games left. What I'm hoping is that they throw all the rookies in. This is the time for them to play. And these guys, they pull all the guys at the bottom of the bullpen and give them all a chance to start. And I kind of hope that it comes down to the last game. Wouldn't that make it a little bit more fun?
It's been exciting. I kind of thought this might be over.
You thought
a week ago, and so now and again. So come on, Tigers, pull it together.
But let's just talk about this just for like 2 more seconds because I want to cut in the young man's airtime. 91 losses, and they're actually in 3rd place in the division.
Yes,
that is absolutely pathetic.
That's mind-boggling in itself.
And
30 games under 500, and they're in 3rd place.
If I knew that at some point, anywhere before this, that there was going to be 2 teams worse than them, I definitely would not have made a bet. But not only is there 2 teams worse than them, but there's already a team that already has 100 losses. The Royals are next. They're probably going to have 100 losses by the end of this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So you're talking possibly 4 teams losing 100 games this year, which to me is just unbelievable.
And the Royals, if I'm not mistaken, it was 3 years ago they won the
World
big series. Yeah. And the year before, it took a Game 7 with the Giants. So they have clearly come off the rails, and I've got lots of family in KC, so they're singing the blues, and they're always been my American League. Go Dodgers!
Well, looking at the Dodgers, by the way, doing very well, especially in the series against Colorado. But looking at the National League, 2 other teams have 90-plus losses as well. So we have potential for 5 teams to actually finish it with 100 losses.
Frightening.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But anyway, Detroit, I just need 2 out of you. That's
Lose
it.
them all.
And,
I hope they go 0-10.
anywho, so let's bring so let's now focus attention on the again rather large individual here, and I'd like to introduce everybody to Antoine Jackson, currently a senior.
Yes.
At Clark High School, and basketball team. Not although as your coach is here, by the way, Coach Chad has mentioned that clearly I guess the football team has always had a unique interest in you.
For sure.
Yeah, 6'7" forward.
Yes.
For the Clark High basketball team. Thank you very much for joining us. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it. And so and again, we really like to focus attention on prep athletes here in Clark County and Southern Nevada in general. So we're very happy to have you here. So let's kind of start out with the usual. Were you born here in Las Vegas?
Yes.
So So I mean, more and more we're hearing.
The yes isn't to that
as
question.
opposed to I moved here from such and such, and
Yeah.
it's we're seeing more and more native Las Vegas. So has basketball always been your first and foremost sport?
No, before basketball was actually baseball. Then throughout the season of baseball, I kind of went and ventured off into basketball.
Kind of outgrew baseball, so to speak.
Yes.
Yes. I kind of thought as much.
So what did you play when you did play baseball?
Oh, I was just outfield.
Outfield? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got some wheels, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
Center fielder, or
yes.
okay.
Yeah. So yes, you had some range too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how old were you when you finally decided to put the glove away?
I want to say about 6 or 7.
Okay. So it was an early decision.
Yes.
Yeah. So you must have really been growing.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So you're at Clark High, and did you play on any amateur teams before you went in terms of like AAU?
Well, 3rd through 5th grade I played for Vegas Elite, and then 6th grade I played for GSB, and then 7th and 8th grade I played for 702 Select, and then 9th, 10th, and a little bit of 11th I played for the Las Vegas Prospects, and then after that I went back to 702 Select.
Okay.
Nice. So I know a lot of those guys
Right.
because I just kind of seen them around, and I try to follow the players and what high schools that they go to. And I noticed that there's a lot of them that are showing up to these games that are still supporting. So I see the punishers, coaches. I see all these guys that have been coaching you guys for a long time, and now you guys are all coming together and playing at high school together. So do you have any teammates that played on any of those other teams with you?
Well, of course, you guys know Jalen Hill. He's played on my AAU team since 7th grade. Joe Burney also was on that team. Frankie Collins was on the team as well. Julius Lennon, he played on the team as well. And a couple other guys played with me in middle school.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So you got a pretty solid squad coming
Yes.
into senior year?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I went to all 3 of your Gorman games
Right.
last year, and I was like, just do it, just win this game, And unfortunately, you guys couldn't do it. I mean, they're on your target. I'm sure you got a bulletin board
Absolutely.
with those dates
Absolutely.
highlight. So, just tell us a little bit about like when you get out there and you got these squads like lined up. I mean, obviously, basketball is astronomically different than it was like 10 years ago in high school, where now Las Vegas is on the radar and being looked at, for people to get picked up. How do you prepare for these games?
Well, every day I start off with I run a mile every day.
Nice.
And my mom cooks me breakfast, nice balanced breakfast. And
Thanks, Mom.
I listen to music when I can throughout the day. At like lunch or before school, after school, and then after school before the games like the JV and freshman games, we do shoot around. So that kind of prepares me also.
Nice. So you're just a little more mellow, and
Yeah.
by the time game comes up, okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's for sure. So this is your senior year,
Yes.
and you've played all 3 years at Clark High.
Yes.
Okay. So have you set yourself some goals for your senior year?
Yes. Well, my first goal is to, of course, win the state championship. Secondly, is to be more of a leader on and off the court, set good examples for the younger guys. So when I leave, they have that kind of idol they want to be able to look up to.
Right.
And then on the court, I want to be able to average 15 to 17 points and get 10 to 11 rebounds.
Nice.
Okay.
So you're playing forward. So there's obviously, is it a bigger guy playing center, or is it equal size guy, or?
Kind of equal size. We kind of switch off. So it's like positions where he'll run and do the top of the court, and I'll be on the block, or vice versa.
Nice. Okay. So I've watched a lot of basketball over the course of years, and Bill and I are both the same in the sense that if we know something's going on, we might just show up, just to kind of just go and watch a game. I mean, Bill will actually show up and watch a football game that means nothing to anybody, but he just wants to go watch a football game.
Oh, yeah.
But when I used to live in Henderson, so I used to go up and watch Findlay Prep play a lot, and I was able to catch a game with Ben Simmons, when he was just kind of just playing around. He was actually playing on a team against Findlay Prep, and I noticed that he wasn't a really good shooter.
Right.
I mean, inside he completely dominated, but not a really good shooter. So how do you make yourself a better shooter being the size you are?
Just practicing, getting in the gym as much as possible, working on your game is the best way. Listening to coaches when they tell you what to do.
So do you actually have like a set amount of shots that you do in a day? Because I know that, like, I remember Larry Bird back in the day, he had like a number, and he would sit there and shoot and shoot and shoot till he got to that number.
Make 10 each spot, and then
Okay.
yeah. So I kind of like
In a row or just 10?
Just 10.
Yeah. I used to shoot free throws like that, where I'd have to make 10 in a row before I quit, and sometimes the lights would go out and it'd be still dark and I'd still be out there. So
Right.
I wasn't that great of a free throw shooter, but I always wanted to try to be. Not as bad as Shaq. But, What about free throw shooting? You good?
Yes. Pretty good.
What percent?
Last year I think I was 65, but
Okay.
this year I'm shooting for about 80.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big difference, especially when you
Yes.
know you're going to be inside and you know you're going to get to the lines.
Yes.
You're going to get banged, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So grades?
Grades.
Can we talk about the grades?
Yes.
Are we good? Okay.
Grades, I'm doing great in school. I've always put school before basketball.
Here.
Last year, I think I had a 3.5 GPA. I finished with a
beautiful.
3.5
Well done.
GPA.
Well done, young man.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Well done. Now, have you, apparently you've already made a commitment
Right.
in terms of school and I should say your next act. And so tell everybody where you committed to.
Well, I have committed to Arkansas State, and that's just like it's. When I went there, it was a family already, and it felt just like Clark. So that's something that influenced my decision also.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And so Arkansas State, they're in Jonesboro.
Yes.
All right. And so what was it about Arkansas State that made you say, this is where I want to go, and this is where I want to go to school, this is where I want to live, this is where I want to play ball?
The energy, for sure. Everyone's excited. Everyone loves the campus. Everyone in the town, Jonesboro, just loves Arkansas State. We went to IHOP late at night, and a group of people just came in just wearing Arkansas State, and that actually it shocked me actually, and that influenced it also.
Well, my family on my mother's side of the family, they're all from Arkansas, Fort Smith.
Okay.
And my aunt and my uncle, her husband, they went to University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So I'm familiar with like Jonesboro, Pine Bluff, Van Buren, Fayetteville, Texarkana. And so those, if there's a campus in one of those towns, it is, everybody there is behind that campus.
For sure.
And so I'm not really surprised at all. Yeah, and it's not a big town, but you're not going to get into trouble either.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm sure your mom and your family are all very excited about that.
Yes.
You know, because let's face it, I mean, poor Sanchez out there trying to, lure some kid out of the sticks to come to Las Vegas to be entrusted there for 4 years, 24 hours, 7. Well, we all know what goes on in Las Vegas. But congratulations.
Thank you.
When did you make the commitment?
A couple of days after the visit, so I want to say I went on the visit, I think, the 15th, and I made the decision around the 17th.
So it didn't take
Actually,
long?
no. I went on the visit the 21st of August.
August, okay.
Yes.
And then
So a little less than a month ago.
yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. Did you go visit any other campuses?
No. No.
Really?
Yes.
So it was the first one you went to,
Yes.
and that's it. All right.
So how does mom feel about it? That's an important question.
She was excited. She was very happy for me, very supportive. She just told me, like, to whatever decision I make, she would always be supportive. And she loved the coaching staff and the professors and all of the people.
Nice. So she's staying here. She gonna where's she at with all that? Because I know sometimes you got mom, and mom doesn't want her baby boy to go. So what's
She
happening?
keeps saying she's gonna go where I go, but I
Okay.
think she's gonna stay here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it makes a big difference. Now, do you do your own laundry at the house? Can we get personal? Or?
Yes, I do my own laundry at the house.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
There we go. Because I have my kids doing their own laundry, but it takes them a lot longer. But
Right.
anyways, that makes a big difference because then you're not only going to be moving away, but you're going to be a little bit more responsible, and you're
Right.
you're going to have the coaches and you're going to have your people around you. But I mean, you excited about that? Just
Absolutely.
getting away from the heat a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited about it. It's a challenge, so I'm always up for a challenge.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Have
love it.
you been away from home for an extended period of time?
No.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, I was a young guy when I moved away from my parents, and the funny thing was I lived away from my parents, and I just drove up one day. I said, "Hey, Mom, I'm moving to Las Vegas," and she said, "That's nice." And I said, "No, I'm actually leaving right now. I'm just coming by to say goodbye." And she told me I'd be back, and I never came back. And now she lives here. She
lives
realized that,
here. Yeah.
that was the only way it was going to happen. So mom will follow you, in the right situation. But I love the fact that you're taking a step out because there's a lot of people that are afraid of that, and
Oh, yeah.
the fact that you're just, gathering yourself together and being like, okay, I'm going to do this. It actually shows me that you have, some confidence in yourself,
Right.
because that's like a key thing, especially when you're going to play in college in a place you don't really never been, so that's really huge, man. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So have you picked a major?
I'm going to major in business.
Nice.
There you go.
Cannot fail there.
Cannot go wrong.
Both me and this guy both. I was a
Can't go
finance
wrong.
major at UNLV, so that's beautiful.
Let's see. First of all, I applaud you making it. I don't think it was a quick decision. You really felt comfortable, and and congratulations, especially on the GPA.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any hobbies outside of hooping it?
Outside of basketball, I just hang out with my friends. I go bowling a lot with a lot of my friends.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Movies.
What's the top game?
I don't know.
Hit
I
the
just do it
200?
for-
Can you hit 200?
I don't know. I just do it for fun.
Nobody is
That's
anybody
right. There's
keeping
nothing wrong
score?
with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with going down there and just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then
Bill will tell you,
throwing
man, I just sling the ball down right down the middle.
about 150 miles an hour. Yeah, figuring that maybe just in the pin action it'll take care of the rest.
Right.
Yeah. But it's bowling is cool. I mean, I used to bowl when I was younger. I haven't been bowling in a long time, but kind of miss it. It was always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go out with your buddies, just kind of hang out, movies and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
We
was
do
the
it.
last movie you saw?
It's been a while, so I want to say Deadpool 2.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. I heard it was pretty good. I know my
Yeah,
son.
I
said
liked
was
it.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I mean, any other hobby? Fortnite? You Fortnite
No,
player?
I don't play Fortnite.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't play Fortnite. I kind of play Black Ops 2 a little bit,
Okay.
but not really. Just like when I can.
No 2K?
No.
None at all?
I haven't got the new 2K yet.
I have no idea what you guys
What
are
about
talking
Coach?
about.
Coach, you play 2K?
I watched my son.
You watch your son play. Okay, there you go. That's kind of how I am too, man. I get out there and I was playing actually my son one day, and he started hitting all these 3-pointers from like half court, and I'm like, dude. And then I'm missing every single shot. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put this down. I'm good,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Stop being fun.
Yeah, the last time I tried, I think it was Formula One racing, and I was all over the place. Yeah, it was just really, made it uncomfortable. I just said, I think I'll just walk away while I still have some dignity left.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
So Clark being a magnet school, obviously, academics is what I've always been impressed with Clark. I mean, you're talking about a public school that ranks in the highest, literally in most categories of all the schools, and that includes the private schools. Do you live in the area, or did you?
Yes, I live
Did you
in
go
the area.
through? Okay, so you didn't actually get recruited to play basketball there.
No.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's pretty rare because I know that they have they have their magnet program, which gives them an opportunity to kind of pull players from one way or another. But you grew up in that area right around Clark.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm actually in the magnet program also. I'm in the teach program.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just basically learn how to become teachers, and we learn different skills like communication skills, and we learn about diversity and things like that, and how to deal with other students and other people and things like that.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always been impressed with the Clark academics. You know, I'm thinking if we could get some of these football players. So you don't want to help out the football team? They're having some rough years.
They've been trying
Shocker.
for a long time. Actually, one of the football coaches at my middle school was a football coach at Clark, and he's been trying since I was in 7th grade to go and have me go play football at Clark, and I kept telling him no. It almost happened this year, but Arkansas State just changed my mind. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you get to a point where you commit to college, I mean, you got to dedicate 100% of your time on that,
right.
and not really risk an injury that could derail your college career. So you're definitely doing the right thing there.
Thank you.
So
You didn't stumble across any of the football coaches at Arkansas State during your visit?
I did a couple other football coaches while they were warming up, actually.
Like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I have no doubt that, at some point they'll, put that long arm out there on you. Yeah, let's come on over and see what we're doing over here.
Well, the good thing is because of your size, there's several positions that you can play. I mean, obviously tight end would be huge. I mean, with
Right.
your basketball background. So you never just get out with your buddies and just throw the football around, or
Sometimes, like, we'll go on like a trip, and there'll be a grass area around the hotel, and we'll go. If we have a football, we'll go throw it around.
right?
Yeah, well, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's always cool. Aside from the goals on the court, what goals for your senior year do you have off the court?
Well, right now, my goals are to finish with a 4.0 GPA.
There you go. Wow,
Um,
that'd be awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty much it for my goals off the court right now.
yeah. You into social media? Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Didn't expect to hear a no. Do you want to let anybody know how they can reach you?
On my Twitter is Action23Jackson, and my Instagram is Antoine.J23, and Snapchat is AJ12_23.
Hold on, do you get that blocked? I mean, is it private, your Snap, or?
Yes, it is private.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
That's a good move. I did catch up to you on Twitter. I watched some of the highlights, and that's kind of how I do my recruiting to get on the show.
Right.
Is I just kind of watch players, and I see their mannerisms. There's certain people, like when I see them on Twitter, I'm like, I don't know if we should have this guy in the studio, because you never know he's gonna act. Social media being as big as it is, especially with college coaches, I mean, how do you decide what you're gonna put on there, or are you pretty much just?
Well, my coaches have always told me make sure you never know who's watching. So,
Like me.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
yeah.
So I've always make sure I watch what I put out there, and
Always a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah. You just want a nice footprint that you leave out there.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously the way that things are, I mean, because if you did, put something out there, it's going to possibly be out there, even if you delete it. There's no saying that somebody else didn't see it. So
Right.
it's definitely something to look out for. So obviously UNLV plays Arkansas State this week. I mean, are you rooting against the home squad? I mean, how does that work?
That's a tough decision. I don't know. I mean, I heard UNLV football was doing pretty good this
Yeah,
season,
they're looking good.
so I think it'll be a good game.
Yep. Well, Bill will tell you I actually picked Arkansas State to win their conference.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the Arkansas State's going to go and put the hammer down on UNLV this weekend, but I could be wrong. And they played really well, and I watched the first half against USC, and they played very, very tight until the fourth quarter. USC just kind of put on the gas.
Yeah,
but
they still put 300 yards rushing.
Oh yeah, Lexington Thomas is a beast, man. This guy is. I love watching him run
Against a tough USC defense.
And
so.
this is a guy you could see play on Sundays. You heard it. Wait, what? Let me just mark it so sure.
Mark that down so our friend from Cleveland doesn't say that you're a front runner.
Yeah,
Okay.
he said it first. No, but I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So, in this whole transition, now you obviously have another year to play. These guys are definitely going to be paying attention to what you're doing. Are you actually starting to look at the guys that could be your potential teammates? Playing basketball at Arkansas State?
Yes, I am. One of the guys that we were talking about earlier, J.J. Matthews, they said he was, I think, 285 or 265, and they dropped him down to 235. And he just got there in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's also about 6'7", 6'8". He's kind of like me, very energetic and loud and things like that.
So energetic and loud, that's like after a rebound, before the rebound, or what? Or just talking junk on the court? What is it?
Energetic, I mean like always hyped, pumped up, like during the game, before the game, after. Just very positive all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's good. And you know what? That makes you a good teammate, and it makes you actually a good player, because that means you're coachable,
Right.
which is a huge thing, obviously, for any coach to wants a coachable player.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, some of these guys, they get out there and then they feel like they got it, and then all of a sudden that's just, the beginning of the end in a sense. So that's good.
You want to any shout outs to anyone?
I want to shout out my mom, Latangela Douglas,
Always.
Coach Chad Beaton, Brian Lang, Coach Vincent, Coach Reeder, and Coach Mike Lee, and the administrators at Clark High School.
All right. And I'd like to thank Coach Chad, who's in studio, for getting you here safe and sound.
That's right.
Yeah. And but young man, needless to say, congratulations.
Thank you.
On excelling, in the classroom, because clearly you're excelling on the court.
Thank you.
And congratulations that as well, making a decision, Arkansas State. I'll definitely share that with my family in Arkansas. They'll be hooping and hollering. Somebody actually from Las Vegas is going to end up down there in the borough.
Yes.
So, are you a football fan?
Not really. Not really.
We've got a couple of questions we're going to have to put to you anyway.
All right.
All right. And this has to do, of course, the NFL season has started.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like your predictions for the two teams representing the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl, and who is going to win it all.
I think it's going to be a rematch of last year.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But
Different outcome?
Yes, I think the Patriots are going to win this time.
All right.
Wow.
But
Okay.
Coach Chad and my best friend are both Eagle fans, so
I wonder why you kind of glanced over there.
Congratulations for finally getting your championship. Well, I can, I've said this several times, but they've talked about this being Brady's last year, and in the event that it is his last year, I kind of feel like he's going to ride off into the sunset. Me being a Lions fan, I'm going to be rooting the Lions to win their first game this weekend against the Patriots. So we're going to see what happens with that, but
okay.
I don't like my chances.
Well,
I'm realistic at least.
Yeah, and we don't want to talk about your streak. So
Yeah. No, we can talk about my streak.
yeah.
So I've never seen, since I was a little kid, I've never seen the Lions win live. And I've been to over 50 games, and I've been all over the country. I've been to Dallas.
wow.
I've been to Arizona several times. I've been to Seattle. I've been to San Francisco. Never seen them win. I think I might be able to get it this year. December 9th, they play Arizona.
They play Arizona.
Also not doing that well.
So, yeah.
So I'm going to try to break my streak this week.
Yeah, after last weekend, this past weekend. Yeah, in fact, it was this last weekend. 34-0. Rams did a real number. I think that you need to go to that game down in Arizona.
Did you see that the
to
Rams
snap this streak?
The Rams didn't even allow Arizona past the 50-yard line until 2 minutes to go in the game.
I did. I knew that it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Their defense is strong.
All right. Well, thank you very much again.
Yes, thank you.
For coming in. We really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you very much for getting him here safe
Thanks,
and
Coach.
sound.
And thanks, Mom,
And
because we do know that
Oh.
this is about Mom's sacrifice and Dad's sacrifice to make sure that and the people are they're the unsung heroes, are the parents. So thank you, Mom,
Absolutely.
for everything you're doing for your son.
And the family, thank you so much, for keeping this young man focused in the classroom, especially because we know what happens when it kind of all goes the other way.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to switch gears. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. We'll be right back.
Is life so hectic that you just don't have time to get all those projects around the house completed? Well, worry no more. Tinker's Handyman Service is here and ready to help you. Tinker's is a company you can depend on to be honest and reliable. What sets us apart from other companies? It's simple. We care. A reliable staff will help you with drywall repair, painting, popcorn ceiling removal, laminate and engineered wood flooring, also accent walls, crown molding, baseboard installs, cabinet and door repair, minor electrical and plumbing repairs, and more. Visit Yelp to see rave reviews from our satisfied customers. Call or text us today at 702-445-4812 for a fair and honest free estimate. Let Tinker's Handyman Service give you the free time you deserve. That number again is 702-445-4812. We're waiting for your call.
The golf store you've been waiting for is now open. Bob Allen Golf is ready to help you take your game to the next level. Bob Allen Golf is located at 6415 South Fort Apache, Las Vegas 89148. Choose your favorite clubs from our selection of Bridgestone, Callaway, Cleveland, XXIO, Srixon, Ping, Wilson, and more. We'll custom fit them in our state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulator. Come hang out with us and practice on our putting green to find out which club is perfect for you. Have your clubs repaired, reshafted, and regripped in our on-site tour shop. And talk about accessories. Guys and gals will feel comfortable and look sharp in the many sizes, colors, and options of apparel from Greg Norman, Black Clover, Under Armour, and more. The team at Bob Allen Golf takes your game as seriously as you do. Join our online family at BobAllenGolf.com and stop in the store to meet us. Remember, at Bob Allen Golf, your game is in the bag.
We are back for round two. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from WWDBTV.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host, along with
Jeff Belknap.
And as I mentioned to you, we are going to switch gears, and we are fortunate enough to have with us calling in on the line Gabe Gauthier. Did I pronounce your last name correctly, Gabe?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right, fantastic. And he is the one of the TV analysts for our very own Golden Knights hockey team when they are on the road with the AT&T Sports. And Gabe, thank you so much, man, for joining us because it's hard to believe, but hockey season is almost right back on us again.
Yep.
It sure is. Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for inviting me on the show. I really appreciate it, and it's definitely come up fast. And yeah, I actually went to the game last night when they were playing the Avalanche, and I will say Vegas representation here in Colorado is outstanding.
Look out.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Avalanche, though. I mean, come on. They're looking for a second team.
Yeah, it is. But it was so humbling to see just, all the Vegas Golden Knights jerseys, the T-shirts, the hats, the fans. And then, even though it's preseason, when the Knights scored their 5 goals, it was like a home game. It was It was actually pretty nice to see.
Well, what's really cool about that particular series, them playing the Avalanche, is you can actually get a round trip ticket to Denver for like $100, $150.
Yeah, it's not.
So that's like a doable, flight where you can fly up there, go to the game, and come back.
Absolutely, it'd be great for some of the families in Las Vegas to come up, watch a game when they play Colorado, and then go hit the slopes.
Oh yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
So, are you a skier as well, or snowboarder?
Well, being a hockey player, skiing kind of come naturally for me. But also being a hockey player, I didn't want to do anything that would injure myself and take me out of hockey. So
right.
I've only skied 5 times in my life, and 3 of the 5 times have now been as an adult and after I've retired from playing hockey.
Oh, that's beautiful. Because those are my favorite set of mountains. I've been to all of them. I've been to A-Basin, Copper. I've been to Breckenridge. I love Colorado. I've been up there when they got fresh powder and got like 17 inches of snow, and it's kind of scary because that's a lot of snow. But I really love that. And, people often think that Denver gets buried with snow, but they really don't. They really have a pretty milder climate, and it's the mountains that actually get the snow.
Yeah, you're spot on. And Denver is, we'll get our spurts of snow here and there, but it's really not a snowy, cold city like the mountain towns. In the mountain towns, yeah, they'll get buried the whole season. But Denver is great. It'll snow one day and then it's 78 the next day. Yeah. So it's if you're a golfer too, you can golf all year round.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually love Denver, and the one thing that I grew up in a very dreary part of Michigan where it's like gray and nasty. And Denver is like a sunny place. It's kind of like Vegas, where you get a lot of sunshine.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, I love Denver.
Yeah.
So
it is very, very comparable because you still get you get a mountain range right in Vegas out there with Charleston in the background and Red Rocks, and it's kind of the same thing we got here in the foothills. We have that front range of mountains, and then towards the back, that's when you get into those 14ers. But for the most part, the visual is right around the same of that small mountain landscape.
That's beautiful. So you worked at obviously the Ice Center, which is I believe where I met you, and
yes.
You went from there. You were coaching with the Storm, the Nevada Storm, and then you just moved to Colorado. And I didn't really know that you left. I saw that you got this gig working for ATT Sports Network. When did that transition happen where you went up to Colorado?
So when I was in Vegas, actually last season, so last October, the junior team that I was coaching, we ended up folding that team, and it was a ownership decision that for the longevity of the program in Vegas, it just wasn't the right fit, and so we all came together and decided that this wasn't going to work out. So it wasn't that I was out of a job. It just means I wasn't coaching the junior team. I was still involved with the Junior Golden Knights and
Right.
with Murray Craven and Misha Donskov, still working with them to build up the youth program with Del Truax and Marty Lacroix and all of those guys. And honestly, I went to University of Denver out here, and I played professional out here for a little bit. And I've always considered Denver my home, right? And so when all this kind of happened, I'm like, you know what? Let's give Colorado a shot. And it turned out that there was an organization out here that was looking for a new hockey director, so I took over that position. It's with the Foothills Flyers. We play out of Littleton, Colorado.
Nice.
And then the TV job kind of just came about and fell in my lap. And it was one day I got an email about a month ago from the producer saying, "Hey, are you in Vegas? Because we want to use you for the games in Vegas." And they wanted to, have me be on the analyst side of all their home games at T-Mobile. And I said, I'm in Denver. And so then he goes, "Perfect. Come in for an interview because we need someone to do the road games for the Knights, and we have a studio in Denver, Colorado." So I'm like, man, this couldn't be any better.
Wow.
So I went down, I did my on-camera interview, and after 2 takes, they said, "All right, we're good." And that's it. So now I have an official makeup artist and a wardrobe, wardrobe girl, and all that stuff, and it's pretty surreal right now.
Superstar.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, how great is that? I mean, to not only have things just fall in your lap, but like literally in your wheelhouse, in your passion, like everything that you want. I mean, it's like the perfect scenario.
Absolutely.
It sure was, and and then it kind of everything came about then too when Stastny signed from Winnipeg, and I'm like, oh man, this is even better. Stastny he's one of my best friends. We went to college together.
Oh, nice.
We played on the line together. We both won a national championship together. So I'm like, man, this is great. Not only with the friends that I've already made on the current team now one of my best friends from college is now playing with the Knights. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Oh, nice. So he played at Denver.
Yes. Yeah. Stastny and I played together for 2 years. So I was a senior when he was a sophomore, and we won national championship together his freshman year, my junior year. And then we played on the power play together. We played on lines together. And actually, our apartments in college, my apartment was right above his apartment. So we had some fun times.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. And a lot of people don't realize that Denver is still one of the premier programs in college hockey.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sure is. And, you know, with the job that George Gwozdecki was our coach for that time, you know, he for 19 years, I think he missed the national tournament 2 times out of 19 years.
Oh, wow.
And then, you know, Jim Montgomery takes over, and then they win a national championship within 2 years of him being a coach, and now he's coaching Dallas Stars. And it really is. It's a program that is smaller compared to, you know, the Michigan States, the Michigans, and, you know, the Bostons and all that stuff. But as far as a hockey powerhouse, it's definitely up there, and always has been top 20 ranked, and for the most part top 10 ranked.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you got to see a little bit about with the transformation of the city of Las Vegas, and one of my favorite things has always been, what's the NHL? You know, like 2 years ago, and now everybody's got a Golden Knights hat or shirt or T-shirt, and I really enjoyed. I'll tell you, you know, I often. Unfortunately, because I had the same issue as Bill, is we don't actually get the AT&T Sports Network with our providers, quote unquote. So right. I often have to go to the PTs that's right across the street from my house.
Yeah.
And just to see the crowd of people that would show up at these games, not people that you would think that would be hockey fans. You know, I mean, it's just like they're bringing these fans out of nowhere.
Right. And, you know, it's great. And even Max Pacioretty, right, had a great quote. Talking about how the fans in Vegas are all about the team, right? It's all about the Vegas Golden Knights, and the learning of the game of hockey and being a hockey fan is going to come out. But he said that the atmosphere that he felt, and just seeing all the Knights jerseys, the Knights T-shirts, all these fans so dedicated to the team itself and the name. It's a family atmosphere, and it's a family environment, and that is why it's growing so big. And then eventually, having that family environment, now people are going to get more in tune with the game of hockey. There's already a few transplants that, you know, are hockey fans and understand the game, but for the most part, the city is now drawn to the team as a whole and how successful they've been and how involved in the community they've been. And on a national level now, they're following the players, right? They're becoming, you know, interpersonal with these players. Then they're going to get to know the game of hockey. But I think that's the best thing that's happened so far, is having that identity with the players and actually with the team instead of the game of hockey itself, because it just you fall in love with that, and then now you're fans for the rest of your life.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things that I'm from Detroit, you know, so Stevie Yzerman's still my favorite hockey player ever, and, you know, I always loved Gretzky, but Yzerman was always my favorite. So I kind of grew up around winning. Yeah. You know, I mean, when you go to Joe Louis Arena, which now they've obviously moved into a new arena, but when you went down to the Joe, you would just see these banners. And I'm not talking about one banner. I'm talking about banners and banners and banners of just dominance. And when I first went to the first game of the year last year was against Detroit. So I show up, of course, in what gear? My Red Wings gear, right? Of course.
Yes.
You know? But I wasn't alone. I mean, probably 75-80% of that crowd were in red. You know, so we show up there, and I'm like, this is a Red Wings home game. Well, of course, Red Wings win that game, and, you know, partly because Fleury got knocked out of the game and whatnot. But it was great to watch. Like, when the Red Wings scored, we cheered. When Vegas scored, we cheered. You know, it was like, I'm just like happy to be here, you know. And my wife is born and raised in Vegas, you know, and she is all about. She was mad that I actually wore a Red Wing shirt, you know. She was upset with me because I wore it, but it was a great atmosphere. I went to 3 games last year, had a blast all 3 games, and I don't want to tell. Bill will tell you, I have a really bad streak where, like, these guys tell me that I can't go to playoff games because the home team always loses when I go. So all 3 of the games that I went to, the Golden Knights lost last year. So
good. So don't go to any games.
I know, man. I go and get railroaded somehow.
Just go to PTs and watch it.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's a lot of fun, man, and I'll tell you, the atmosphere of not just inside of T-Mobile, but the way that they built around the stadium, the bars and everything that's around there, it literally just gets electric.
Yeah, and and we both go to California.
Yep.
Frequently, and it's amazing to see how many Golden Knight T-shirts or hats that you see out there, and part of it is that it's a kick-ass logo.
Right.
And the uniforms. I mean, it's people who may not even be hockey fans just like the emblem. And and of course here in town, you can't go anywhere without seeing Golden Knight gear.
Right. No, it's a simple logo, but it's a very powerful logo, and it's a catchy logo too. Right. It's something that can just be seen anywhere, and you just know it. Right?
Yeah.
And Bill Foley and his staff, man, did they knocked it out of the park. Right? They truly did, and it's so great to see. It's great to see the success they had last year. It's great to see the success that they're having now going into year 2, and like you said, it's the atmosphere that's being built around not only the T-Mobile, but just around the whole valley itself is fantastic.
Well, the one of the things that I saw is when George McPhee was announced as a GM, people that are hockey fans already realize what this guy has done.
Right.
Right.
It was basically George McPhee versus George McPhee in the finals last year. I mean, it was a team that he built in Washington, and then the team he built in Vegas.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand the concept of that. And in baseball, we're seeing it right now, where we have a dominant Dombrowski, the Tigers that brought all those AL championships to Detroit, is now in Boston. Dominating in
Right.
Boston. People don't realize how important these guys are, and to have a owner like Foley that just stands behind these guys and just cheers them on and is right there with them is just absolutely amazing to me.
Yeah, it really is. It's very, very great to see for the game itself, and for sports in general. It's fantastic.
So what's your next steps? Just in what you're doing now. I mean, obviously you're going to continue to coach your team. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll continue to be the director of hockey for the Flyers youth program, and then I'm also coaching a Pee Wee AA team, and then I already have my contracted games that I'll be doing. So my first game will be on October 11th when they're in Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'll have that game, and then throughout the season, it'll be me, and then the main host is Nick Gismondi, and then Brad May and I will be flip-flopping on games throughout the season.
Nice. So can I send you a pin or something you can put on an SN Sports News pin? Or?
I don't know if my makeup artist will allow it because they don't want any shiny stuff on.
Well, by all means.
That's all right.
You may have to run that one past her. Gabe, my daytime gig is transportation. I work with a couple of Canadian trucking companies, and these guys were following with absolute amazement of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And they just kept saying, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. And, and they were, they just became, believers at a certain point. What are your thoughts as to, how do you see the Knights doing, in the 2018-2019 season?
Well, they haven't made any real major changes. James Neal's gone, Dave Perron's gone. But, you bring in Stastny, who's a fantastic not only leader on and off the ice, but he's a utility player that's going to be used for all situations. He has a very high plus-minus, so you can guarantee that he's going to be defensively sound. And he can also put the puck in the net. And then picking up Pacioretty from Montreal, man, that's a killer deal. And that's going to really boost the offense for them. And, Fleury, can't go wrong with the flower, right? Just got to stay healthy. And their whole decor is coming back, too, for the most part, without Schmidt for a little bit. But still having Merrill back there and England back there. Their team is set up so perfectly to continue this success. And I just know that, Coach Gallant is going to keep them on the main track to keep that same identity, to keep the same work ethic. And that's the one thing that I was very impressed with. And a lot of other hockey fans and hockey people were very impressed with how the Knights played. And it was so in your face. And that's why they were so fun to watch, right? Because every shift, all those guys, forwards and D, they're going 100%, right? They're buzzing. And you can hear the communication. You can hear the hard passes. And when there's a shot on net, they're crashing that net. And I saw it last night, when they were playing the Avalanche. It was nonstop hockey, and they were putting the Avalanche on their heels. And that's what they did all season last year. And that's how they had that success to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And that comes from coaching. That comes from the leadership and their practice habits. And I just know that they keep that same game plan, the same style, and now picking up two other guys offensively. They're gonna do it right, and they're gonna have huge success. I just know it.
One of the things I'm always impressed with is they open up a lot of these practices, which I think is great.
Yes.
The first couple of practices that I went to, first of all, the arena, City National Arena, is right across the street from my day job, which is great. So I see it, and I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go grab something to eat, and then I run over there and watch practice for 20 minutes. But when I first started going, there might be like 20, 30 people there. Yeah. Like when it was getting towards the end of the year, like they weren't letting me in anymore. And I'm like, wait a second, I've been here all year. This isn't fair, But to see the support for the organization to me is just absolutely incredible. Where you get there and you got an older guy that's been a hockey fan forever with the little 5-year-old kid wearing the jersey.
Yeah.
It's just great to see there.
Yeah, this is it's just been just an incredible feeling, and I think that people just cannot wait for the season to start because they want that feeling again. They want just that sensation of watching this team win and win convincingly. And then just keep it on. Hey, let's face it, the finals might be a lofty goal, but it's a goal that's one that they've already achieved.
That's
so,
right.
It's from there. Real quick, Gabe, before we go, I know you were born in Torrance.
I was, yes. Torrance, California, yeah.
Yeah. How long did you live in Torrance?
So I was born at Torrance Memorial, but lived in Buena Park.
Buena Park, okay.
So I was born at Torrance Memorial, but then grew up in Buena Park, and then I actually left home when I was 13 to go to a prep school back east.
Okay.
But so my parents still live in Southern California. Actually, no, strike that. I'm sorry. They just recently moved to Arizona, to a retirement community in Arizona. They got out of California, so now they're down in Arizona, and it's a funny story. They actually moved down to Arizona to be part of this retirement community, but then also be closer to my wife and I, because we have a 9-year-old daughter. And this was before we moved to Colorado. So they're like, wow. Yeah, we're going to move to Arizona because we want to be closer to you kids, right?
Well, at least they got the tax-free, the no-state tax down in Arizona.
Exactly.
That's a big plus.
And then so when I told them, hey, I'm moving back to Colorado, they're like, you got to be kidding.
That's great.
But they can watch it on all of those road games.
Now you got to buy a mountain place.
That's right. Beautiful.
But they can certainly watch you on the road games for the Golden Knights, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's another challenge they have is they got to try and pick up a feed of AT&T because it doesn't serve in their region.
Hey, listen, I can't get the games, and I live right here in Las Vegas. Thank you, Dish Network.
Yeah.
You guys.
So we run out of time, but Gabe, we'd love to have you back on maybe during the season if that's possible. Maybe if we can get the schedule together, that would be great to have you on.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do it. As you guys can tell, I love doing this, so it's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate everything.
Hey, thank you so much, Gabe. Really appreciate it. And again, man, good luck on this upcoming season.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Thanks, sir.
Gabe Gauthier, AT&T Sports, and one of the announcers on the Vegas Golden Knight road games.
What a dream season. Job.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, my goodness gracious.
Does it get better than that?
Former hockey player, and then of course one of his buddies, with the University of Denver, is now Peter Stastny on who's now a
which is a
Golden
great
Knight.
pickup by the Golden Knights.
All right. Well, once again, the hour has just flown by.
Always does.
Join us again next Wednesday, September 26th, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News, coming to you from WWDBTV.com. Have a great week.
God bless.